Hello, everyone. Hello, Diana. Hello, Aleksandr.
Hi.
Hi.
Today I'm hosting Diana and her husband Aleksandr, and we are going to talk about relationships in a Russian family. I'm very curious to listen about it more because I'm myself from Russia, and to see couples like yours, it's actually a very rare thing, I would say. And I will ask you this question, Aleksandr, in the end. And let's start. And first of all, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself a bit. Where are you from? What do you do? So that our listeners know you a bit better. So let's start with Diana. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Dinah, and I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. And yeah, so I've been teaching English in China before for 5 years, and then I was teaching here for 1 year. But I'm currently doing Muay Thai, so I'm doing martial arts. Hi. So yeah, and also still doing a bit of teaching on the side as well. But professionally, I'm actually a journalist in Kenya, a radio journalist.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So you know a lot of languages, I guess. What about
Yeah.
you, Alexander?
I'm from Moscow. Yeah, my full name is Aleksandr. I'm from Moscow. Grew up there. My parents are Greek descendants, and I've been studying there to become an English teacher. Then, when I finished my studying, I worked in public school in Moscow, and it was very disappointing and discouraging. So I decided to leave, and I went, with my friends to China, and I was teaching there, and that's where we met. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And it's so nice to meet someone from Moscow. I'm also from Moscow, was born and grew up in this city. Yeah. So can you please share with us your beautiful love story? How did you meet, guys? I don't know who wants to start, who who can share. Yeah.
Okay. When we were in that city in China called Taiyuan, I had a band that we were playing with together, like a rock band. I was playing bass, and there's some other guys from like Ireland and US were playing with me, and we were performing in some clubs and bars, and that's where coincidentally she also went with her friends. So why did you go there?
um, no particular reason. We just so I was just hanging out with my friends, and they were like, "There's this live rock band playing, and they're really good, so we can go check them out." And we did, and yeah, he was playing with the band. I was sitting with my friends somewhere, and every time after he finished his set, we would catch each other's eyes but not say anything. And then he came and said hi, and then we just started talking. And as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah, very much. Yep.
Yeah.
That's really so romantic. I can imagine. He's on the stage, you're listening to the music, and then that's how the love story began. That's really nice. But I wanted to ask you, both of you actually, did you ever think that you would be in relationship with someone from a totally different culture? Yes. Like, were you? I would imagine that Dinah, you were not interested probably in Russian culture, particularly before you met Aleksandr, or were you?
Um, Not exactly, to be completely honest. I mean, I used to think the Russian accent was so cool. But I never really thought like I would meet a Russian guy, end up falling in love and marrying him. But it was it was interesting, like just I would see them in the movies with their accents, and I would be like, that is so cool. And they look cute. But yeah, it never really crossed my mind to like it's not something I thought about that. Oh, my mind was set on I'm gonna marry a Russian guy. No.
So it just happened like that. And what about you,
Yeah.
Alexander? Were you ever interested in, let's say, African continent? Yes.
It's just I don't really judge people where they're from. I don't really care what nationality people have. Yeah, try to treat everyone equally. And yeah, if I like someone, it doesn't matter where they're from. So that's what happened in my case here.
Yeah, that's a really nice words. I wish everyone in Russia think like this, but unfortunately, based on my experience, it's not the case.
Oh,
But how
yeah.
fast, yeah, how fast did you understand that, okay, for you, Dinah, that he is the one? Which qualities of Aleksandr impressed you the most?
I would say he's a very kind guy. I know he has a serious face and everything. That I think it's a Russian thing. I don't know because most Russians I meet a very serious face.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, they don't like to smile. That's true.
yes. Like he told me this story once that apparently in Russia if you smile for no reason it's like you're a fool, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
exactly.
smiling for no reason is a sign of stupidity. That's
Yes.
what people say. Yeah.
But um, underneath it all, also considering the fact that he was in the military and everything, he's a very kind person. He's very understanding, very supportive. The thing that I liked most about him the first time I met him was that he was not judgmental at all. And it was just easy to be able to talk to him without feeling like I was being judged in any way or treated differently. Instead, he would be like a very good listener and very kind.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was it.
And what about you, Alexander? What did you like the most in Dinah when you met her?
Hmm. I like that she's very straightforward. No dancing around the issue, no beating around the bush. She's also very kind, and she's not um, very materialistic. You know, in my previous relationship with a lot of Russian girls, a lot of them were after the money, or in one way or another. But she was never like that. That's what I really appreciate.
Yeah, since you started comparing, let me ask you, what are the main differences between, let's say, African girls and Russian girls, according to you? Except, okay, you mentioned that Russian girls were more materialistic, they were after money. Is there something else what makes the big difference, let's say?
Hmm. Maybe I was just unlucky, but in my experience, I've had a few relationships when my partner was very lazy. She was on her Instagram all day. I'm working all day. I get back home. I get no appreciation whatsoever for what I'm doing. So those relationships never worked out. But with Dinah, this has never been the case. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very important. Yeah, and I heard a lot of stories that a lot of Russian girls are really after money. They're looking for rich. Okay, not only Russian girls. Let's say I hear it from many guys that we cannot find a partner because they care only about money. They don't want to see our personal qualities. So it's actually sad. Yeah, that it's very difficult to find the right partner, I guess, especially nowadays. And another question I would like to ask both of you. How did your families react to the fact that you chose someone from totally different cultures?
Mhm.
Actually, quite good. Like, okay, I didn't I say that in a way that I seem surprised, but I'm not. But actually, it was quite a good reaction. I'm from a Christian family, and we grew up in a way that our parents taught us not to be judgmental of other people, considering like there's this thing called tribalism in Kenya where people from different tribes don't get along and everything. But we were taught like everyone is equal, doesn't matter from what tribe, from what country, from all that. Just treat people as well as you can, and just be a normal human being. So even when they met Alex the first time, they absolutely loved him. And it just, I think for him and my family, they just straight up connected because they fully accepted him. My dad, my mom, my brother, my sister-in-law, my nephew even came up with a new nickname for him and everything. So yeah, it was very like he was fully accepted into my family, no questions asked. My mom likes to feed him a lot so he can gain weight.
Nice.
So they always take care of him like he's their son, and my brother and sister consider him their brother. So yeah, he's fully family. That's it. That's yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, to hear that. But I would say that according to me, that African people, they're so welcoming, they're so friendly. I saw a lot of them here in Europe from different countries. So I never saw any unfriendly person. So I have never been to really to their homes or something, but I would imagine that they treat people really nice. Yeah, so it's probably, yeah, one thing about Africans, I would say everyone. I cannot even choose any particular country, but all of them are nice. And
Yeah.
what about your family? What was their reaction?
Um, it's fine. There's no problem whatsoever because I mentioned before, right? Like, I grew up in Russia, but my blood's not really Russian. So, my parents moved to Russia. They didn't like grew up there and stuff. So it's not a problem because of that. When you have like parents like that, like vagrant parents, then they're usually not judgmental about whoever you choose. Yeah, and yeah, even though they did meet, they talked. But my parents, unfortunately, they don't really speak English very much, so they can talk in Russian now a little bit. I
My
can
Russian's
translate
getting
here
better.
and there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
that's really nice. Yeah. So, which language actually do you speak with each other? Is it mainly English? I know that you are learning Russian. So, how is it? Is it difficult to learn? I would imagine it is. Yeah, especially Russian grammar. Yeah, I think.
Oh, no, no.
Yes. It's very hard, honestly, to be completely honest, considering while living in China for 5 years, I learned how to speak Chinese, and most of it was self-taught. And I would say Russian is equally as hard, but harder because
Do you really think
you
so? I heard that Chinese is the most difficult language, really.
I wouldn't say so because once you get it down with the tones, when it comes to Chinese, it can get a bit easier.
Mhm.
But with the, I find it very challenging with the Russian grammar. It's
Yeah.
the grammar part is the hard part. But I'm still trying to work my way around that. But normally we communicate in English, and sometimes I try to practice my Russian with him. And sometimes if we're somewhere like in an event, maybe with people we don't know, sometimes we speak a bit of Chinese. It's like
Yeah.
our secret language.
Wow.
So
You're really polyglot, so many languages. And Alexander, do you understand some Swahili?
Yeah, a little bit. When we were in China, her friends they only taught me the bad words. Yeah, that's how it goes usually. Yeah, I understand a little bit, but not much. Because in Kenya, everyone can speak English pretty well, so there's not really much use for me to learn Swahili, considering that I have to maintain like my Russian, English, Chinese. I need it for work as well.
yeah,
So it's too many languages.
and my
No, but it's
family
always
speaks.
great to learn a new language. Yeah. Yeah. So both of you speak Chinese fluently.
So she's better than me,
Yeah,
I would say.
I'm better than him, but we can still have our secret
Hmm.
conversations.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know, like if maybe we're at an event, it's boring and we don't want to be rude about leaving. So we're gonna have a small dialogue about, baby, maybe we should get going now. It's a bit boring.
I'm really impressed that both of you can speak Chinese. I think for me it sounds like a very difficult language. I never tried to learn it, but that's what I heard from everyone, that it takes years to really start speaking it. So yeah, that's really great. And may I ask you, why did you choose China first of all? Like, why did you go there? Like for okay, you went for work, yeah, I guess.
Money.
money,
Very easy.
money, yeah, that's the main
It's,
reason. But why
if you're teaching,
China?
huh?
Why China? Why not some other country? I don't know.
Because they pay better.
Yeah,
If you're an English
okay.
teacher, this is the number one where you want to go and teach because the salary is the highest you'll ever find anywhere else.
But actually, I think our answers would be different on that one because before we individually went to China, we hadn't met yet. For me, I would say it was a bit from a sense of adventure. I went to visit a friend the first time, and then while I was there, I was studying Chinese, and then I found a job, and then that was it. Finally, 5 years later, somehow I found myself still working in China. And as you say, the money there is good. So yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay, now
how you feel yourself in China? How, was it like? What do you like the most about this country? Because I heard from many people who live there that the the locals are not so, let's say, not so open, and it's kind of difficult to make friends there if you want to make with locals, of course. So, how did you feel in this country? Was it comfortable for you to live there?
Uh, a lot of people have misconceptions about China, I think. People generally do not accept you. You will never become like the local, but they will still treat you nicely and you can make friends. Like, I didn't find any difficulties making friends there. I would believe Japan or Korea would be harder in that regard when it comes to making friends. Uh, the things that I also like, it's safety. China is very safe. Nobody's going to steal anything from you. There is no crime because there are cameras everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I like Chinese food, but this is just my preference. And their culture is interesting as well. They have a lot of festivals and holidays out, and they celebrate in a very unique way. Yeah, and there are a lot of cities you can visit. It's a big country.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's actually great to know that because, yeah, many people think that Chinese are very unfriendly. But can you survive in China if you don't speak Chinese, for example? I think not so many people speak English.
Yeah, that's a big problem. When I arrived there first, I couldn't speak any Chinese, and I just survived on saying the words like "chiga," this one. Like you're going to the shop to buy some food, you're pointing at something like a caveman and just say in Chinese, this. Uh, but then once you get better, it becomes easier. But yeah, otherwise, if you don't go to Shanghai or Beijing, pretty much nobody gonna speak English in other cities.
yeah.
But did you stay? Which city did you stay? Sorry.
It's a small city in Shanxi province called
Oh,
Taiyuan,
yeah,
and it's like 2 hours from Beijing by train. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, of course, in a small town, I think it's very important to know the language. Otherwise,
Mm.
yeah. And
Yeah. Um,
if difficult to find a job in China, like if you okay, if you go to China being a foreigner, how difficult, or maybe it depends on the specialty, or what are you doing, what is your profession?
Well, mostly everyone's going there to teach English. To find other jobs will be very challenging.
yeah.
I've met some people who work there for like companies, but you need to be like a good manager or something. Or I've met a few people who were there into like industrial stuff, building the electric engines for the cars and things like that. Those are also good. You need to be a good engineer for that. Other than those three. I don't know anyone else who had any other kinds of jobs there.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to find like normal jobs in China, or other than unless you're a student or you're teaching English. So I would say the main job you can get as a foreigner is teaching English, and that's it. Unless maybe you have a company in your country that sent you to work for a particular company in China, then that's when you can have a different job. But other than that, teaching.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
do they accept everyone? It's not necessary that you have to be a native speaker, because I know in some companies they prefer natives, like in this case, native English speakers, or it's not really important.
To be completely honest, there is quite a bit of racism in China, and well, they do have these instances where when they're advertising for jobs, they will literally say we're looking for a white teacher. It's just how it is. And sometimes you just have to look past that and try to get yourself an interview, whether they say they want a native whether they say they want a native English speaker and you're not native English speaker. And if you go there and you prove yourself that you can do this, like if you're from Africa and you don't have a thick accent, you have all the proper documents, you have experience, what you're doing, and they see that you're really good at what you're doing, then they're definitely gonna hire you, whether you're black or white or whatever color you are.
Yes, good.
But there is that instance of racism in China, yes, but I wouldn't say it's everybody who's racist, because Chinese people can be really nice, and it's easier to be friends with them. And once you become friends with them, they actually spoil you like a lot. They take you to all these expensive dinners, to KTV karaoke places.
Yes.
They treat you really nice, buy you gifts. Like I had a Chinese best friend. Her name was Clover, lovely lady. She used to just randomly give me gifts, and I would be like, okay, that's sweet, but I didn't get you anything. So I think once you get used to them and they get to like you, and it also depends on how you treat them. If you're nice and friendly with them, they're gonna see that you're a good person. And it's also in terms of you do not try to focus much on that, on the negative side of it, and just try to handle it in a way that it's not gonna impact you negatively, because we all know nobody likes getting people being racist towards them and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I also met one Chinese family. They're our neighbors, actually. They're extremely friendly. I never saw such friendly people like them. It's like they always offer something. If, for example, they see my kids, they always give them something sweet or ice cream or something. I was really impressed. Always invite to visit their home or something. Yeah, so I think everyone is different, and of course, no one will like if you treat them bad. Yeah, in any country. Yeah, another question I would like to ask you: how fast did you get married after you met each other, and where did it happen? What kind of marriage did you have? More in a Russian style or in a Kenyan style, or how did it happen?
Yeah, take this one.
Yeah, we got separated for a while during COVID. Then eventually I came back to Kenya, and then we got married. Just a quiet one, traditional Kenyan style. It was a little bit stressful dealing with the Sharia house there. Yeah, you can take it from there.
Okay.
Share the experience of Sharia house.
Okay, so to answer your question, we didn't immediately get married. We got married in 2022. We had been together from 2017, so like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 5 years together, and then we got married in 2022. And as I said, we got separated for quite some time during the sea period. Um, and then when he came back to Kenya, once the travel restrictions were lifted, then we did a courthouse wedding, and in regards to that, it was still the COVID kind of period, so not all our family members could attend it, which was we were not happy about it. It was like a quick thing in and out, this and that. It's say you're about quickly, there's another couple waiting behind you. That was not fun.
Yeah.
But before that, we had gone to my grandma's place, and she's like she lives in the Maasai place. So we kind of had like a Maasai kind of event
Wow.
with the family interaction. So then after the wedding, after the thing, the traditional Maasai kind of wedding, I could share the photos with you later. Then that's when we did the courthouse thing, but we were not really happy about it. So we're planning on if we can be able to save enough money, we want to have a proper Kenyan wedding, and hopefully one day do a Russian wedding as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really amazing. Yeah. It's my dream to see at least Maasai village or I don't know, real people, and because it's really different culture and how people still follow their tradition, their culture. It's really amazing. And Aleksandr, what was your impression about Kenya when you went there for the first time?
For the first time, actually, it's a funny story because Dinah, she was still stuck in China for a while, so I had to go first, blindly. Yeah.
It's an interesting story.
Yeah, so I arrived there. Her family, they met me, gave me some place to stay, and yeah, we were hitting it off quite well. But then at first they were kind of, I don't know how to say, they were testing me to see if I'm getting annoyed, if I'm like, like a white guy comes to Kenya, he's not used to all that stuff, animals around, but like all that, yeah. So they thought that I'm uncomfortable, and but later on, yeah, I managed to dispel those doubts. And when we went to Masai, they were also testing me. They were cooking the sheep's head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they was like they were asking me to eat the brain, and it's like, oh, is he gonna eat the brain? Yeah, and yeah, I ate it. It was nice.
Yeah, it's like a cultural thing. You know how in Maasai cultures they have this man thing going on. But anyway, yeah, interesting story. Actually, he went to Kenya before I did, and I had no idea because him and my family kept it a secret.
Wow.
Yeah, so the whole time I'm in China, after he left, I'm actually thinking he's gone back to Russia. And turns out he went to Kenya and my family was waiting for him. They were really good at it because I had no idea. He didn't tell me, my family didn't tell me. And then I arrive in Kenya and I'm at the airport looking for my family, and there he was.
No, I
And I was
jumped out
like,
of the car, like checking the
they
box.
actually hid him in the car, so I wouldn't know he was there. And then when I got there where my family was, he just came out of the car, and I was so surprised. And I was, yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, they had set him up with an apartment already, furnished it. Um, my mom was taking care of him, cooking food, and then taking it to him and everything. So yeah, and he became fully part of the family.
Wow, that's really amazing. Yeah. And how long did you stay in Kenya?
Um, Overall, I think overall it'd be around 2 years, something like that. Yeah, but it was like a few visits. Yeah, summarily it's like 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so you visited a few times. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he came the first time. He stayed for 3 months and then he went back to Russia. And I was supposed to go, but then the C word came. So that's when we were separated for like 1.5 years. And then after he came back again, and that's when we got married and everything. And again, we were supposed to go
Yeah.
to Russia, but then the war started. So
Yeah, exactly.
I, as much as I really, really want to go, and I would love to go, always wanted to go. There's always something. First there was COVID, and then there was the war, and now we cannot go right now in case they try to draft him to join the war. So we're trying to wait it out until everything's calmed down, and then I
Yeah.
can finally go. Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope that it become normal again. Yeah, because now there are two major wars going on, and it's pretty sad. Yeah, that common people are suffering a lot. Yeah, they can't even visit each other. We can't travel easily. Yeah, especially from Europe, I have to travel like via Turkey or via Serbia. Not so many options, I think. Yeah, it's easier, I think, to come from Asia because Asia have good relationship with Russia. Yeah, yeah, that's true. So I hope you will be able to visit Russia soon. Yeah, it's also very beautiful and different country. It's a huge country. Yeah, I haven't seen it myself. Just main cities. That's all. And another question I would like to ask you, Dinah. What do you think? What makes Russian people different from other nationalities? Like, what are the main qualities? Can you highlight? Yeah, what makes them really different? You mentioned that okay, Russians are more serious, or at least they look more serious than others. What else?
Um, I love how straightforward they are. They do not beat around the bush, so to say. They tell you as it is. I like when people are very straightforward with me. Like, tell me as it is. Don't go, don't use corners and everything. I absolutely love that about Russian people. What you see is what you get. It's as real as it gets. They're not gonna be fake in any way, and I absolutely love that because sometimes I think I'm surrounded by a lot of fakeness around me, especially here. But
Oh, no shots.
but yeah, I love how straightforward they are and disregard what everyone else thinks about Russian people. I actually find them to be very friendly and very kind because even here in Thailand, like we've been to places where I've met other Russian people and they were always so friendly and so it sucks that sometimes they get treated differently, which I absolutely hate. But in all, realistically speaking, they're very kind, nice people, if you ask me, from my experience. And up to this day, I even keep contact with the Russian friends that I met in China. So, yeah, like it's the straightforwardness and the kindness and the friendliness. So don't let the serious face fool you. They're, for me, they're actually really, really nice people.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy to hear that because, you know, many people really had some bad experience in Russia, or at least, for example, I haven't met very rude Russian tourists abroad. So they started insulting us without any reason. Yeah. So, and they didn't know that I'm from Russia because people never think that I'm Russian. So it's actually good for me. I can put them straight. And I started speaking Russian with them, so they were shocked, like they felt not comfortable, that they were rude, but they didn't apologize, nothing, but I just told them everything what I wanted to say. And I heard that many people have like bad experience, like for example when you meet Russian tourists, they treat like waiters, like other people, not really nice. They can be rude, they can be like, they don't behave always very friendly. Yeah, so I'm very happy to hear that you had a nice experience until now. So with me it wasn't the case, unfortunately. Of course I met wonderful Russian people, but yeah, very rude ones as well, especially in Moscow. I don't know, people are so busy, they don't care about anyone, they just so busy with life, with their problems, so they don't really care. If sometimes you can ask something, they will not even stop to answer. Yeah, it happens.
Well, I guess I just got lucky because I haven't met any Russian person who was rude to me or treated me a different kind of way.
No, that's really nice. Yeah, I hope it would be like this. So you never meet any rude people because it's not nice. Indeed. And another question I would like to ask you, because you are from different cultures, from different background, different religion. What are your, do you face any, let's say, daily challenges in your life? Yeah, and what they are, if you have any, or maybe there is nothing like really difficult, like it wasn't difficult for you to accept each other the way you are?
Well, there's some cultural misunderstandings sometimes. A good example would be when we were trying to celebrate your birthday, and her birthday was on Sunday. So in Russia, we do not celebrate birthday a day before. Yeah. So if your birthday is on Sunday, you have to wait until the next week if you cannot celebrate on Sunday, let's
Yeah,
say. Yeah.
exactly.
So yeah, it's a big no-no. Like and she said, okay, let's celebrate the birthday on Saturday. I thought, oh, it must be the Saturday next week, right? Because well, her birthday on Sunday, so yeah. And then she's like, well, are you ready for the birthday? I was like, what? What birthday? But today we're celebrating. I was like, I thought it's next week. How do you celebrate your birthday today? It's tomorrow. It's not what you're supposed to do. No, it's fine. That's how we do it. I was like, okay. So yeah, it's the small cultural differences and that create some misunderstandings sometimes. But it's nothing we cannot really overcome.
Yeah.
It's nothing major. Mhm.
Yeah, in Russian tradition, you can't even congratulate like the day before. I remember if someone wished me like the day before, I will say, no, 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 you have to wish me after my birthday, not now. And people kind of said, why? We always do that. It's normal. It's almost 12 o'clock, so it's okay. No, no. Yeah, somehow in Russian culture, yeah, we think it's not good to celebrate or to wish someone in advance. Yeah, I don't know why, but it is like that. I think it's only in Russia like that. I never heard anyone else follow this rule.
Yeah, same.
So
I've never heard anyone
yes,
else doing that either. It's just us.
But I think with every couple from different countries with different cultures, there's always something, you know?
yeah,
Like I know there are other challenges we have to face ahead of us as well. There are other topics we will have to discuss, like is our baby gonna grow up a Christian or Orthodox? Um, how what language are they gonna learn? Are they gonna speak Swahili? Are they gonna speak Russian? This and that. Or like I'm Christian, he's Orthodox, and we don't force each other's religions on each other. So I would say, as a couple from different countries with different cultures, you just have to meet in the middle and come to an understanding and just decide on if this is what you want or this is not what you want, because it's all about the communication. That's the most important thing, the communication. Because once you decide to do, like me forcing him to go to my church, or
Yeah.
yes,
that would not go down well. We would end up having fights and arguments. So you have to meet in the middle and just have a communication. Are you comfortable doing this? No, I'm not. Do you want to do this? No, I do not. That's fine. Respect the decision, and everyone's happy.
yeah,
Happy husband, happy wife.
Yeah. Well, when we're at the matter of churches, yeah, churches in Kenya are a little bit too overwhelming for me, I would say. With all the craziness going around, yeah. So I don't really attend very often.
Yeah.
Usually make up some excuse why I can't go.
Well, he did it to make my mom happy. Let's just say that. But yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I think people in Africa are pretty religious. They go to church every Sunday. Yes, that's what I heard. Yeah, yeah, and there are always a lot of people, very big gatherings. Yeah, in the churches. Yeah, everywhere in
A lot of
Africa.
uh,
Yes.
a lot like just I don't know. It's almost like a concert or a party. It's so many things going on. People are like singing. The pastor is saying things very passionately. It's very different from our church in Russia. So yeah.
Yeah, it was an overwhelming feeling for him. So at some point during the chat service, I would just take him out and we go stay in the car, just for him to get away from it all. But yeah, I mean, the fact that he actually was able to put his difference aside and go to church with my family, and that made my parents happy and everyone happy. That's the kind of respect I'm talking about. Like, it's hard for someone to put aside however they feel about a particular thing, just so, they can show that they have respect. So that brought about like a lot of respect from my family to him as well, because he wasn't judgmental in any kind of way.
Yeah, I think it's very important to
Yeah.
show respect to each other, yeah, to talk, to discuss, yeah, because in other culture, relationship can be many more challenges, I think, than if you marry someone from your own culture, yeah, especially when it comes to kids, even to choose names, to choose religion, everything, I think you have to discuss in advance because there can be a lot of misunderstandings later on. Yeah, and another question I would like to ask you. Now you are living in Thailand. So may I ask, why did you choose this country? Okay, you left China. Yeah, so how do you feel in Thailand? Is it, what are the main differences if you compare China and Thailand? How are the people? I heard that Thai people are very friendly as well. I don't know, maybe you have different experience. So how do you like it there?
I keep laughing because there's about to be a lot of shots fired here.
Okay, I'll start with so people in Thailand are exactly opposite of people in China. People in China are very straightforward, blunt. I would say even, yeah, but they can offend you sometimes by saying something and they're not thinking what they're saying. Yeah, they're just saying it because they're blunt. But they don't mean like it in a bad way, which is why, like, I think for her dealing with racism that way was easier because you see where it's coming from and it's like easy to deal with it. However, here in Thailand, it's the opposite. People are nice and all that, but they're not very open at all. They're not gonna show to you what they really think or what they really are. So because of that, it's hard to make friends here, and yeah, creates a lot of other issues as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just like he said, the Chinese people, you get it straightforward. Like if they're being racist, they're gonna be racist to your face. You get it the way you get it, and then you can deal with it however you can
Yes.
deal with it. However, with Thai people, they're very, I would call them closet racist, because even if they feel a certain way about you, you're not gonna find out because they have this fake smile going on,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. But in a way, you can sense the way they're treating you. They're like, I wish this person would leave right now. Like you're getting that kind of vibe, but they're still gonna smile and act all friendly and everything. But I mean, we have met. It's very hard to make friends with Thai people, I would say, because like I said, as straightforward as I am, I prefer for people to be
Yeah.
straightforward with me as well. So I don't take that fake stuff very, I try to keep away from that. So it's harder for me to make friends, Thai friends. I do have like a couple of them who are really nice people, by the way. But yeah, it's a bit more challenging dealing with Thai people than it was dealing with Chinese people. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting to hear it from you because I heard a totally different experience about Chinese people and Thai people. I heard from everyone that Thai people are amazing. It's so easy to live in Thailand if you're interculture, so you don't face any discrimination. You can be yourself. And about China, I heard not really good opinions from people. Yeah, and it's really interesting to know. Yeah, because I haven't been to China, I haven't been to Thailand, so I can't say much. And I saw quite a lot of Chinese people. A lot of them live abroad, but Thai people, not really. I don't think I ever met
Yeah.
them. So it's difficult. So Could you find your circle of friends still there? Do you prefer to communicate with expats, or still do you have local friends as well?
I would say I have two local friends, Max.
Max.
Max. But other than that, I think most of our friends are expats from other different countries, and that's who we mostly hang out with.
Yeah, and what
much.
about job? Is it difficult to find job in Thailand being a foreigner to compare to China? You mentioned there it's better to teach, to have some teaching job. How it is in Thailand?
I think Thailand is harder than China because I would say for a non-native speaker, it will be harder to find a job here than it is in China. Because in China, there are so many schools that just hire, so you can, even if you're non-native, you can easily find a job still. But in Thailand here, there are not too many schools, and there are a lot of native speakers who actually live here in comparison to China. So that creates problem of making it difficult for job hunting.
Yeah, because like in my experience, I would say in China within a week I had a job. It wasn't hard, but we came here and 3 months, 4 months later, I still couldn't find a job, considering like I had all those years experience teaching in China, all levels, all ages, all the correct qualifications that they need for you to be an English teacher here. So it took me like almost 3, 4 months. And basically, I'm going to put it as straightforward as I can because that's who I am. But basically, that's because I'm from Africa. So they didn't want to hire me regarding that factor. I think they would mostly prefer to hire like, white teachers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a lot more harder here, and also the money is not that good, and it's hard having to deal with some of your colleagues, considering how some Thai people are like. So it can be uh, let me see this distracting. Okay. So it can be quite challenging to work with Thai people. So after my contract ended, I took a break from that for now. So I'm just focusing on Muay Thai and doing other online stuff. But honestly, if we could go back to China, I think that's exactly what we would do.
So you're planning to go back to China?
Yeah, we've been talking about it. It's on the table, and also the money now is way better than than it was working there. We have a shortage of teachers, so yeah.
Yeah, and what about Thai language? Are you learning it, or you don't really need it? Can you survive there with English?
Yeah, you can survive here easily without any Thai. They can speak like basic English. Everyone can do that. In the worst case, just learn a few words or use the translator. It's fine. It's not as bad as it is in China. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's more people speak English than in China. You don't really need to learn Thai. But do you understand some Thai? I think it's also it's a very tonal language, as I could hear it. Yeah.
The tones is way harder here than it is in Chinese. Also, reading is hard to learn because they don't have any spaces between words. They just write one whole thing. And that's it. Yeah. Figure out yourself which one is the word, where does it end, where does the new word start.
Actually, he speaks Thai. I don't. I only know how to say hello, thank you, and okay.
The main things.
Yeah, but he can do numbers, ask how much is this. He can understand numbers. All that.
Do like introduction, maybe like 10 sentences and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For me, I absolutely have no interest, to be completely honest. I'm good with Russian and I'm good with Chinese because it makes more sense for me. Like with Chinese, it doesn't matter. Most countries you go to, you're gonna come across Chinese people that you can be able to communicate with.
Yes.
For Russian, I can communicate with him and his family, but this is in my head. If I was to learn Thai and I leave Thailand, then what am I gonna do with that knowledge of that language? I have no idea. So for me, I don't see it worth learning. Um, so yeah.
People are mentioning that we should think about like UK. I mean, I wouldn't mind going to UK, but I don't think it will be easy for me to get like a visa to go to UK. Also, like I'm an English teacher, so I don't think I can teach English in UK. It's not gonna happen. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for both of us, it would not be easy
Mhm.
to get visas to the UK.
Yeah.
But we have
Especially
thought
now,
of
pretty difficult. Yeah.
relocating. Sorry.
No, I just said that it's pretty difficult now to get visas in many European countries. They're becoming more strict, more closed, I would say. Yeah, and their politics is not really welcoming to foreigners. Yeah, unfortunately. So yeah, UK is one of them. So I don't think it's the best option. Yeah, and especially if you can speak Chinese, you can easily live in China. And if you feel comfortable there, why not? Yeah. Yeah. Another question I would like to ask you about food. Dinah, how do you like Russian food? What are your favorite dishes?
Uh, I wouldn't say I have favorite dishes per se right now because I haven't had a chance to fully experience the Russian cuisine. But from what he has made for me, I love it. And there's also a lot of potatoes. I love
Oh,
potatoes.
then you will like Russian food, yeah, because some people they don't like potatoes, yeah, and we have a lot of dishes with potatoes. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would do really well with borscht.
Borscht, yeah, yes.
Yeah, and also, with the sour cream, how they eat this. Oh, I think I would love the dumplings with the sour cream and everything. That is something I'm really looking forward to fully experiencing the Russian cuisine because the only part I have is from him, from what he's cooked before.
Yeah, but it's
But
also challenging to cook something. It's so hard to find sour cream anywhere in Asia. It's like it
yeah,
doesn't exist. So
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, it's difficult to find, like, for example, buckwheat, like grechka. Yeah. In Russia, everyone loves it. Yeah, but I don't think you can easily find it in Asia. Yeah, here you can find it in Russian shop, at least. In Germany, you can find it even in big supermarkets. Yeah, you can find, but I don't think you can find in Asia.
I'm
And what
so
about,
happy,
yes, sorry.
that I have traumatic experience with the buckwheat from my childhood. So the longer I don't see it, the better it is for me. Yeah.
but he loves Kenyan food.
Yeah, canned food's great. Um,
What do you like
the food in
the
Kenya.
most? Because I don't know, honestly. I never tried. I think African food. We had some. I saw some restaurants from Ghana. I don't know if you eat the same food. There is something they call fufu. This is the only thing I remember. I think it's not the same cuisine, but I don't know anything about Kenyan cuisine. What are the main dishes? What do you like, Aleksandr, the most? Do they eat spicy food? Do they like spicy food, or not really?
I would like to start with the first saying that the ingredients in Kenya are very natural, and like you pick up the tomato, it smells and tastes like a tomato. It's very natural. You want to go get meat, you have to go to like a butcher, and it's like almost like a Wild West style. You know how people did it back in the day, but that old style makes the food very natural and good and healthy.
Yeah.
So I like to eat a lot of vegetables, especially like tomatoes, corn, potatoes, and my favorite one probably would be ugali, is when they take like corn flour, yeah, and they how what do you even call it? Is it
like she said, she knows fufu, so it's kind of like fufu but much harder. It's not as soft as fufu. Like with ugali, actually grip it and but it's made like you take corn flour, put it in water, and just hit until it hardens, and then you can eat that with nyama.
Nyama choma, yes. So nyama choma is like barbecue basically in Kenya. The way they cook, or they also like to make like salads and stuff. Like kachumbari is like your regular like tomato, onion, parsley, lemon salad, and you use this ugali as a spoon to eat.
Yeah. So basically, with ugali, you eat it with your hands.
Yeah.
His favorite food that my mom likes to cook for him is
mokimo.
Mokimo.
That one is like potato and corn mixed together, like mashed potatoes with corn and some greens, right? Like parsley.
Yeah.
Plus some meat on the side, guacamole, and some vegetable salad, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I really need to try it at least once. Unfortunately, there are not so many African restaurants. I saw Ethiopian one, I think Nigerian one, from Ghanaian one, but not really Kenyan. I need to check. But it sounds really nice. And what I like that it's natural, because here you hardly, if you buy tomatoes, they don't smell like tomatoes, and it's all artificial, and they use so many pesticides, and you don't really feel like eating it. You are not sure what you are eating actually. Yeah. So, and what about sweets? Do you have any particular Kenyan sweets which like some, or do you eat a lot of sweets in Africa, or it's not really in your culture? Because I never tried any special sweets from African continent. Yeah. Do you have something?
I don't think sweets are a thing. I don't know about other African countries, but I don't think sweets are a thing in Kenya. Because I saw someone say we should try Indian food. We actually like Indian food. It's so good.
Well. Yeah.
So good. Yeah. But getting back to my point, sorry, I got distracted.
No, I just try to read all the comments because I saw someone wrote that David, I go to a Kenyan church in the UK, and every Sunday we have Kenyan food at the end. Yeah, probably it's also another mixed couple. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah. So sweets is not really a thing in Kenya. Yeah, it's just normal food. Like we have special cuisines and everything, and that's it.
A lot of fruits. There is a fruit there called tree tomato. It's like a tomato if it was an actual fruit, like sweet and sour.
Yeah. Fruits. I would say we do more fruits than we do sweet.
Oh yes, that's actually more healthy. Yeah. No, I just thought maybe you have something special. Yeah, something like what you really make in Kenya. But but it's better to eat fruits. You probably have so many varieties of fruits, so you don't really need sweets. Yeah. But Aleksandr, could you actually live in Kenya? Would you like to stay there for some time if you get a chance?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I was asking if you actually would like to live in Kenya, or could you live in Kenya for some time if you get a chance? Like, would you prefer, or was it would be difficult for you?
I mean, it's nice to live in Kenya and everything, but with the economy being all tough and all that, it's much better to just, if you can, get out of the country and try to make money elsewhere. Because for the moment, with the greedy government that we have in Kenya, it's making life harder for a normal Kenyan citizen just to get by day. So, as much as we love Kenya and we would love to stay there, I don't think it's much of an option right now, because we have to think about, everyone needs to make money. They need to, so if we stay in Kenya and we don't have jobs, or we're rather not doing much, then we're not helping ourselves. So it's better if just get an opportunity to go somewhere where you can do your hustle, make as much money as possible. But there is this possibility of we can buy or build a house in Kenya, and maybe get into real estate, build
real
apartments.
estate's good in
Yeah,
Kenya.
build apartments and you know, rent them out and just make your money on the side. And maybe if you're not living in Kenya at the time you're out there traveling, you can like make your house an Airbnb or something.
Yeah.
Because to be realistic, in this day and age that we live, it's all about the money to survive.
Yeah, of course.
So as much as we would love to live there, it's not an option for us at the moment. But yeah,
Yeah, but at least to visit it as much as possible. I think it's a nice place, nice people. And I heard it's
oh yeah,
not very hot there. It never gets very hot in Kenya. It's a pleasant weather. That's what I heard from people who live there.
It can get pretty hot sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah,
but not too bad. Not as bad as Thailand though. But much hotter
Depends on the
Thailand, if you
season.
ask me.
I think Thailand, Kenya are the same for me. It can get really hot sometimes, but it's maybe like 2 months a year, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but maybe it also depends which part of Kenya, because I heard that it never gets too hot like in some African countries, like more than 40 or something. So it's more pleasant there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have winter and all that. We just have rainy season and dry season.
Mhm.
And I think it's pretty much the same in Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand's very similar to Kenya
Yeah.
in terms of climate.
In terms of climate, yeah.
But is it also humid in Kenya? I thought it's not so humid. Probably in Thailand it should be more humid.
Yeah, Thailand is definitely more
More humid.
humid, but however, during the rain season in Kenya, it's also quite humid as well. So yeah, Thailand's still a bit more humid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most difficult part to live in a humid climate for me, at least. I don't know. Some people like it, but I hate it really. Yeah, it's very difficult, especially when it's hot. It's unbearable. Yeah.
Oh yeah, places like Vietnam wouldn't be good for you then. That's okay. Sorry.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
let me ask you like last question, which I ask normally everyone, all girls, and I will ask something you, Aleksandr, because I have a question for you. And Dinah, what would you recommend to foreigner girls, let's say, not necessarily African girls, like in general, who are dating a Russian man? So how should you behave, or how to understand if man is serious, to prevent any misunderstanding and problems in the future? What would be your, okay, based on your experience, what would be your suggestion?
I would say just be yourself. Be as real as you possibly can, because at the end of the day, that's what that's about. Like if I had started off fake, then he would not see me for the person that I really am. So I would say be as real as you possibly can be. Not possibly, like realistically, just be yourself, you know? It's all about, it comes down to who you are as a person and as a human being and how you treat people. So apart from you being as real as possible, try to be as nice as possible and just treat everyone around you with respect. And um I think love just happens. There's you can do particular, try as hard as possible to do something very particular and it doesn't work out for you, or you cannot try in any way and it just happens for you. So it's different for everyone. But for me, I would say, uh in my experience dating and marrying a Russian man, I'm in a very happy place, very loyal. He treats me so good. He spoils me. He provides everything that I need. It's easy to have very good communication with each other in case of disagreements. So it all comes down to who you are, what kind of a person you are. But if in particular when it comes to Russian men, just be yourself, be as real as possible. That's just about it.
Yeah, and Aleksandr, I would like to ask you one question. I have been asked a lot, like a lot of people approach me and ask, why don't you post any couples where the husband is Russian and wife is a foreigner? Why it's always the other way around? There are so many Russian women who are married abroad, and you see a lot of couples like this, like they marry anyone, like South Americans, Africans, Asians. So you would find a lot of couples, but you hardly see Russian men marry someone from totally different culture. What do you think? What is the reason behind it? Or maybe I didn't meet such couple, but I hardly see them online. When I saw your couple, I was pleasantly surprised. I was, oh wow, I need to get in touch with you guys to know more.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe as I've mentioned before with my point previously, yeah. In my experience, I've met a lot of Russian girls who are after money. And if they're after money, it's only natural that they look for something outside of Russia. So that could explain why there are more couples where a Russian girl finds like a rich foreigner. That happens a lot. Also, Russian girls are considered to be very beautiful outside of Russia. Yeah, I know a lot of like Australians and British people who love Russian girls.
Yeah.
So
Why
or like
Russian men meet? It's hard to see Russian men dating.
which brings me to another point. The guys in Russia are very conservative, I think. They don't like traveling around. They generally don't interact much with people from other countries. And I think it's this conservatism and being stuck in a rut that prevents them from doing that. I think there's this, to answer your question, those two reasons, basically, I think.
Yeah, that's actually true because you hardly see couples like that. Yeah, I think I met one couple when the guy is Russian. I think he's half Russian, half Mexican, and his wife is from Nigeria, and they live in Moscow. So I was also kind of surprised. Oh wow, that's really interesting. You hardly see couples like this. But you are actually right that I think this is the reason why Russian men don't marry foreign women as often as Russian women. But you said that most of Russian women are after money. But a lot of them marry to African men. They move to Africa. They move to South America. They don't have like perfect life there. Sometimes they have a lot of difficulties. So how would you explain that? Yeah, not everyone is after money. Yeah, I think.
I'm not saying it's everyone. As I said, in my experience, it was that's just what I thought, maybe because that's what my experience was. And generally, yeah, I think for girls, they're kind of more adventurous in Russia than guys are as well.
Yeah, maybe.
They're more likely to leave and travel somewhere as well. This could be also the case. So yeah.
Yeah, but even African girls, because I'm getting a lot of messages from African girls, and they're asking me, can you please find for us a Western guy? So if I ask which country do you prefer, it would be always the USA, Canada, England. Yeah, no one will say Russia, yeah, or other country like that. Yeah, it would be always more advanced culture, Western countries, Western cultures. Yeah, so yeah, and I always ask them why don't you want someone from your own country, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But not everyone is the same, of course. Everyone have different approach and thinking. Yeah, I think it's all destiny. When you meet your true love, you just know, yeah, this is the one, and it doesn't matter which nationality, which culture. It's not important at all. I
Yeah.
would really
That's true.
like to thank you for this wonderful conversation. I really enjoyed it a lot. I came to know so many new things about different countries, really. You just opened my eyes about Thailand, about China. I would love to visit both countries sometime because I think Thailand is very popular actually among Russians. Yeah, you probably see a lot of them.
Mm. Actually, the city where we're in, there are no Russians here. Maybe just like a few, like everywhere else. But if you go to like Phuket
Yeah.
or yeah, there will be a lot of Russians there. Russians practically run Phuket at this point.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But we're all the way in the north, so
Okay.
here you don't meet Russians. Yeah.
So we were not able to, reply to most of your viewers' comments and everything, but we could see them, and we appreciate each and every one of you acknowledging us and, you know, coming to view our live interview with Laura. So we would like to say thank you to your viewers as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
I
been
would
fun.
like actually to thank everyone who came today, yeah, who were listening to us, and thanks again for joining me. It was really nice meeting you guys. So let's keep in touch. Maybe we'll meet somewhere, sometime. It would be really nice. I'm always happy to meet my followers, and since I started this project, I met so many, let's say, unique, interesting couples. So yeah, it's like you learn so much from everyone. Yeah, so it's really amazing. So I wish you a lot of happiness. I wish you to visit Russia finally, to see how it is in Rio, to try Russian food, Rio Russian food. Yeah, and enjoy your time in Russia, because there are so much to see. I think you need the whole, even the whole life is not enough to see Russia. Yeah, it's a huge country. Yeah.
So thank
So
you to
Thank you so
viewers
much.
for the nice compliments and everything, you know, for
Yes.
joining us. And for you hosting us, we really appreciate
Yes,
it.
really,
So thank you
really
so
do.
much for that. It was actually fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for your
yes,
time.
it's the
Yeah.
same for me. Yes. Yeah.
We wish you the best as well, and we hope you're happy and, you know, successful life and all that. And if you ever come to Thailand, please do let us know.
Yeah.
And if
Yes.
we will not be in Thailand and we go to China and you ever come to China, then please let us know.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Yes, it would be really nice to meet you guys, and thanks again. And I would like to invite all my followers to follow your account, because you are really nice people. It was really great to talk to you today. So please follow Dinah and Alex. So I'm sure you will learn a lot of things, yeah, about different cultures, because you are like, you are already intercultural. You lived in so many countries, and it's not the last one. As I can see,
Yeah.
Taiwan is not your last destination. Yeah, thanks a
We
lot,
already
guys.
thank you in a Thai way. Thank you.
Yeah, they also do like this. Yes, thank you. Like,
Yeah.
like
You
in India.
bow.
Yes, yes, it's kind of. I think there are a lot of Indians in Taiwan as well. Yeah, that's why maybe the cultures are a little bit similar. Okay, let's keep in touch, and I'm sure it's not our last interview. We can always meet again, because I have so many ideas. Yeah, and I will surely invite you. Yes. Have a nice day. Yes. Take care, and let's keep in touch. See you.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
You.